How many tuna wraps in is it? Probably like 300 to 400.
When I think about making a really good sandwich, I'm absolutely thinking about flavor, texture, balance, how clean is it? Like, I don't want a sandwich that you're eating and it falls apart. Sandwiches are awesome because you really can get like a perfect bite.
Good morning, S&P.
It feels like the last human restaurant in New York.
You come here and it just feels like you're in a movie. It feels like you're in the New York that you see in movies that you know and that you love.
Are there any famous people that you've seen here?
Christopher Mintz-Plasse comes in all the time, with McLovin.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jeremy Strong has come in before.
And we have a lot of regulars.
Pastrami delight, turkey delight, no slaw. Excuse me. I'm Kirsten Brewer. I'm the general manager and chef here at S&P Lunch. I just cook it over there. Oh, well, I really love the counter. Something about the counter really screams like old New York to me because it's people that are kind of in a rush. They're coming in, they're alone, they're working, they're busy. You know, we have the Flatiron right across the street. It opened in 1929 by Schwadron and Pulver, the original S&P. The counter is original, the booths are original, and the woodwork, the hooks on the walls, a lot of the same details have been here for a really long time. There used to be a lot of celebrity photos all over the walls. If you look over there, you can see there's like lots of little holes. There's a few that made the cut that the owners decided to keep, Gilbert Gottfried being one of the most popular. I think because he was so young in that pic, people are often like playing a game of who's that. But his wife still comes in from time to time, so it's nice to have him up there. I would say that the menu can be classified as American diner with a Jewish American edge. We have matzo ball soup and latkes. We have lots of pastrami. We have a great tuna melt.
Good morning, S&P. My name is Jody, and I'm pretty much the keeper of the front of the house area. Judy! Well, I am the first line of defense, really, because when somebody walks through the front door, if I'm standing there, I'm the first one to greet them. Hi. 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 Hi, guys. Hi, Ollie. Come on in. Good morning, S&P. I started working here 18 years ago. People think I'm the owner. I guess because I worked here for so long, I'm older than the other staff members, so it's just a good assumption that they think that. We used to have the honor system here up until about 2 months ago. And the honor system was whoever sat at the counter would come up to the front after they ate to pay, and they would tell us what they had.
Matzo ball soup and a hot pastrami on rye with spicy mustard.
And we now have numbers in front of each seat. So after they eat, they come up and tell us the number, and their order's already in the system. Okay, what number?
5.
I would say people are inherently kind. They really are. They come up, they're happy to have a place like this because there's very few, if any, left in the city at all, and they want us to stay. Have a good day.
My name is Ray Thomas. I'm a server here at S&P. I keep a list of diner regulars in my phone because, don't look too much. Is it roast turkey?
No, I don't even eat meat.
Wow.
We get our bread every morning fresh from Paramount Bakery in New Jersey. We get our rye bread seeded and unsliced every day, and then we slice it ourselves and we hold it in a nice warm drawer to keep it warm and moist all day. The tuna melt here, I think, is a product of just like caring a lot about the ingredients and doing our best to make a perfect sandwich every single time. First, liberally butter both pieces of this bread where we like to smooth it down so that we can get nice even coverage all the way from end to end. 4 pieces of American cheese, and then a nice scoop of our tuna salad that we make in-house in the press. Let it go. So here we go, perfectly golden, that's what you're looking for, nice and melted. That with a whole pickle, from Pickle Guys, Lower East Side. Tuna melt, you're getting first very crispy, cheesy, and then hit with like the warm tuna mayo creaminess, and then you're getting that tang of the rye that comes in a little bit afterwards and like kind of balances it out. Our famous tuna salad. This is a mix of water-packed tuna and Genova oil-packed tuna. A little bit tedious with these little cans. We put the time and attention into all the little things that we do from the beginning to the end of the process. For example, just making sure that we are going through the tuna and breaking it down and making sure that it's just like this smooth, homogeneous bite, which makes a big difference that maybe other places aren't just taking the time. Duke's mayo, only and always. It's part of the history of this building, having a tuna melt. It's something that's been on the menu here many, many years before S&P was here. So it's kind of a link to the past. It's also very traditional diner fare, and it's something that is inexpensive and delicious and hearty that you can have for lunch that is not fancy or expensive. It's very casual. So it kind of ties back to like the Depression era of the restaurant in that time, a way to stretch your dollar and have something really well done and authentic and delicious that's not going to cost you. People love that it is very simple. There's no onion or celery or anything in the tuna, which people like. It's just classic, clean tuna, mayo, American cheese, and really nice rye bread, really well toasted. It's just about the little details like that. It's exactly what it is, not trying to hide anything or add anything. It's just what people think of when they think of a tuna melt from their childhood. We have a joke back here that's like, welcome to S&P, we're sorry, we're in the way. We're constantly kind of doing this dance with each other. We have the beverage person that's right here making homemade sodas. There's a lot of to-go coming up right here. The cooks are making sandwiches. The guests are sitting here and able to face us, so we're kind of interacting, answering questions. Being at S&P when it's really busy, it feels like you can't stand still because you'll be in the way. So I spend my day literally running in circles behind the line, the front of the line, helping people out, kind of directing them, running food, helping the cooks. Oh, I've gotten like 17,000 steps before in a day here, just in that little space. So here at S&P, we are known for making our house-made sodas. So we have our own syrups here, Coke, Diet Coke, vanilla, and cherry, and we make you your own hand-stirred soda. So we do 4 pumps of the syrup, lots of ice, and then our seltzer here. Give it a stir, nice fresh Coke. People really say it tastes better. Egg cream, we use nice milk. Make sure my seltzer is nice and cold. Chocolate syrup, we use You-Bet. Classic. No idea what an egg cream was until I came to New York City. I heard it is kind of a derivative of an Eastern European word that is like echt cream. In the Depression era, dairy and milk and all those things were a lot more expensive than seltzer water, so this was a way to sort of like stretch expensive products and make like a milkshake. Our pastrami is super flavorful. We braise it overnight with a pickling brine. It's a little on the softer side. We hand slice it so it's nice and thick. So I'm gonna cut 6 ounces for a pastrami on rye. The pastrami on rye and the tuna melt are probably pretty close. I feel like the tuna melt may be a little bit more. Are they competitive? I don't think the tuna is, but the pastrami likes to think it's the winner. The sandwich is all about balance. We're not trying to load it up to the sky. We want it to be an enjoyable experience. I have over 20 years of experience as a chef in lots of different kinds of restaurants that were mostly high-end, and was always very kind of introverted, very much liked being back of house. So when this opportunity to kind of take over the front and back of house of S&P came, it seemed like a perfect opportunity to kind of stretch my social skills and talk to people, and really being on the floor with the guests as they come in and really getting to feel how much they love this place. It's just very rewarding. When you're in the kitchen, you don't really get to feel that as much. Like out here, people are appreciative. You hear them in line talking about how excited they are.
Oh, I know a lot of regulars in this restaurant, and a lot of regulars that have been coming here since I started working. They actually come from generation to generation.
I didn't know you're a star, Jody. I didn't know you're a star. You're always a star.
My relationship with Jody is great. I get here and I sit down and she just asks me hot or ice because she knows that I'm going to get a coffee, and it's just a matter of whether it's hot or iced.
We'll see you next week, if not later this week.
Okay. The restaurant first opened in 1928. They then, in 1929, sold it, and that became Eisenberg's. There's been several owners since, but the Eisenberg's name always remained. Been passed from lease to lease to lease, and it's stayed in operation already for 98 years under different ownership. I think because it has that old school feel that people just love to see.
Court Street Grocers is the parent company of S&P Lunch. They are a sandwich shop started by Matt Ross and Eric Finkelstein.
It looks like a Bloomingdale's bag. March 14th of 2020, when we had a total shutdown in this city, I was the very last person to turn the key and walk out of this restaurant. And when Matt and Eric
Saw that this place had closed, they put a flyer on the door saying like, hey, do you like this place? If you do, like, help us get some investors to reopen it. A lot of people said, make sure you call Jody and get Jody back there because we miss her.
I have no idea who wrote it. I don't know if it's a customer, I don't know if it was a staff member, but I'll take it, I love it, so we're keeping it.
Oh my God, I've been coming here at Eisenberg's for about 20 years. How you been doing, Jim?
I'm good, how are
Good, good to see you.
you? Too.
When I heard it was closing, it was a very dark day. When we heard it was reopening, it was a day for celebration.
People, they come in and I don't know how many times a day or a week I hear people say, we're just glad you're here, like because they were sad that they lost it. Or someone will come in and just not know that it ever closed, and they'll just start rattling off something from the Eisenberg's menu, and we can usually give it to them. But yeah, not always. It's by far the oldest restaurant I've ever worked in, and so to talk to people who have been here long before, I have, it's just something to think about. It just feels really big. You can forget about it in the day-to-day while it's busy, but when it quiets down, you can kind of like feel the age of it.
In a world where every restaurant feels increasingly sort of corporate and service feels automated, Jody and everyone who works here, these people become the background painting of your life. It feels like the last human restaurant in New York.
People come in here and they just feel cared for. They just feel cozy. It's a reprieve from the daily stresses of life, like whatever they are, and you can just sit down and just know, if but for 25 minutes, the time that you're here, that things are gonna be a little better.